name is Fontana, and I love to cook what I call everyday green gourmet. Everyday green gourmet is high quality fresh food grown in a sustainable and organic manner that can be easily prepared every day. I'm a busy working mother with 2 small boys. If I can do this, you can do this. Today I'm going to show you how to prepare garlic and saffron chicken. The idea for this dish came to me through a cooking magazine focused on authentic regional cuisine. This dish is obviously a Spanish dish with the main ingredient being saffron. I have created something here with very few but very high quality ingredients so that it can be easily prepared as an everyday green gourmet meal. First, you'll want to get all your ingredients together. I have here 1 whole chicken cut into 8 pieces with as much bone in as possible. I also leave the skin on to add moisture and flavor. Fundamentally, good cooking is not about watching the fat, it's about making something flavorful. So keep the bone in and the skin on. You can always take the skin off once it's cooked if you prefer. I also have 1.5 cups of long grain rice, 1 medium yellow onion, 4 to 6 large fresh garlic cloves, fresh homemade chicken stock. If you don't have this, you can always use your an organic brand from the store at your local market. I use fresh carrots, 5 to 6 fresh carrots, and saffron. Saffron imparts a lot of flavor, so you're only going to need 1 satchel or just a pinch. And garlic, salt, and pepper. And you're ready to go. Next, you'll want to pick a pan that's large and wide enough to hold all of the chicken in 1 flat layer. I like to use this paella pan because it's also known as a braising pan because it's wide and low with this large dome lid to easily steam the rice. Now you're ready to assemble the dish. Season the chicken generously with garlic, salt, and pepper. I like to use a brand of garlic salt that is coarsely ground so the flavor isn't overpowering. You know, you can season any meat well in advance. What the salt will do is penetrate the flesh, draw out any bitter fluids, and also be able to draw back in all that yummy broth when the dish is cooking. To help you brown the chicken, make sure it's at room temperature and that the pan is fairly hot. You're going to want to brown the chicken on both sides, and you'll get the best results if you just leave the chicken alone, and especially when you flip it over. Just let it brown, don't move it, and don't crowd it. If you crowd it, it's going to steam and not brown, and you won't get any of that beautiful brown meat that's so flavorful. Also, make sure you have the chicken at room temperature and the pan fairly hot, like I said before. Alright, so while that is browning, I like to prepare the onion and garlic and carrots. What you're going to want to do is dice the onions into small dice, which is about 1/4 inch squares. The smaller the dice, the more flavor that will be released into your dish. And next, you're going to want to mince the garlic. Now, apparently, garlic has the most antioxidant properties about 10 to 15 minutes after it's minced. I didn't know that. My friend Sue told me that. If she's wrong about that, I'm going to append this video with her home phone number. So crack the garlic, take off the root end, and another variation that you can do if anyone in your house has digestive issues with garlic is you can use crushed cloves whole in the dish. I would just use a few more, and then what you can do is it gives people who have digestive issues a chance to pick out those offending pieces and put them aside, and people who want them, who can't get enough of them, to seek them out and mash them up in their serving. It definitely can be a win-win for divided households. I'm going to check on the chicken here while I'm working on this. Yeah, looking nice and brown. I'm going to flip that over. See, it doesn't take long, just about 5 to 6 minutes to create a nice crust on the skin. This will really retain the moisture in the chicken while it's cooking. Alright, once the chicken is done browning, you're going to want to set it aside to rest. And you want to collect any juices that run out and add those back to the pan when you add the chicken back. Okay, next you're going to want to toast the rice in the remaining oil and rendered fat. And what this will do is it'll allow the rice to hold up to the longer cooking time required to actually cook the chicken. You're going to want to stir this rice around fairly vigorously and just toast it until it's just fragrant, until it releases a nice toasty smell. Once the rice is toasted, you'll add the diced onion and cook that until it's just translucent, just enough to release the flavor. I'm going to add that. I like a lot of onion, so I'm going to add a lot. This will also deglaze the pan just a little bit. The moisture in the onion will pull up some of the browned, caramelized meat at the bottom. Oh, that smells so good. Carrots. I always buy these fresh with their greens on. They're obviously much more flavorful and much more fresh. And they're easier to cut because you can hold on to the green top while you cut it. I just take the top off and then run the rest through my knife. Just like that. And once the rice and the onion are nicely fragrant, you're going to add the garlic. So add the minced garlic and cook very briefly, again, just until you can smell that wonderful garlic flavor. You're going to be careful not to scorch or brown the garlic, or else it'll impart a real bitter flavor in the dish. That is something you don't want. Now you're ready to deglaze the pan. What that means is you're going to pour the stock and bring up any of the brown bits and mix it in with the juice. Next, you're just going to toss in the carrots and stir those around to incorporate them throughout the dish. And then you're going to add your pinch of saffron. I like to scrunch it up a little to release the flavor. Like I said, a little bit of saffron imports a lot of flavor. Finally, you're just going to nestle all this nicely browned chicken back into the pan. And you'll want to just scrunch it down in there until it's partly submerged, but not all the way. And you'll want to be sure to keep that pretty brown meat, the brown skin side up, and you can go right ahead and pour in any juices that rushed out while it rested, and you're done. And finally, all you do is cover and bring it to a boil, then reduce the heat and keep it at a slow simmer until the rice is cooked. One very important tip, do not stir it once you actually cover it to cook, otherwise the rice will become too gummy. You'll want to taste and add more salt, regular salt, not garlic salt this time, and pepper to taste once it's finished before you serve it. It will take about 20 to 30 minutes to cook, and if the cooking liquid disappears before the rice is done, just add a little more water and make sure the lid is on tight so that it steams the rice. And if there appears to be too much liquid and the rice is done, take the lid off and cook off the extra liquid. And that is it. I have found that if I have all the ingredients ready and prepared the night before, I can make this incredibly tasty green gourmet meal on a weekday night. And what I love about being a green gourmet is that it allows me to experience sustainable indulgence. And what sustainable indulgence is it's something special and great that you can experience every day for your own benefit and the benefit of those around you. I love it, and I think you will too. And I want you to show me that you love it by voting for me on the KTEH website. Thank you, and happy eating.